right, so excited to talk about the Million Fathers March, an initiative organized by the Black Parallel School Board and other organizations. It's making waves across the country with the mission to empower fathers and create male role models that take an active role in their children's education. This movement is echoing its call for increased parental involvement all over the nation. This is an annual event now in its third year. It's attracted a significant number of participants who are committed to supporting the children's educational journeys. The march serves as a symbolic gesture, uniting fathers from diverse backgrounds and to emphasize the importance of their presence in schools and in their children's lives. So the Million Fathers March, it aims to create a positive and inclusive environment within schools, fostering stronger relationships between fathers, students, and educators. So by actively participating in children's education, fathers hope to contribute to improved academic performance, self-esteem, and overall well-being, all those great things that we know and appreciate about people. Education experts and psychologists support the campaign, highlighting the positive impact of involved fathers on student academic achievements and emotional development. Studies have shown that children with engaged fathers tend to have higher levels of self-confidence and exhibit greater resilience. The Million Fathers March, not just limited to fathers, but also encourages uncles, grandfathers, mentors, and male community members to actively participate as well. The campaign's message resonates beyond the march itself with ongoing initiatives to provide resources and workshops that equip make figures with tools to support their children's learning journey. As the Million Fathers March continues to gain momentum, it serves as a powerful reminder of the significant role fathers play and male role models play in shaping the future of our young people, our youth. Very important. And so, you know, this is where I introduce the lovely Miss LaShanya Brazel, who is my co-host today. And, you know, we are just talking about Black fatherhood in general, in particular, the Million Father March, which for our organization, United and Guided, we've been able to continue. We're on its third year, but you know, the Million Father March has been around for a longer time than that, hasn't it, Ms. LaShanya?
For about 7 years. The Black Parallel School Board actually started this initiative about 7 years ago, but it actually started almost 20 years ago in another state. Last year, United and Guided got involved, and it has grown and is continuing to grow. So very excited to introduce this initiative again, another year consecutively.
Yes, yes. And we're really proud of the work we've been able to do over the past couple years because, you know, the Million Father March is a national effort. So there are other states that are doing the same type of work. However, you know, we've taken it on and started to bring our fathers from Papa Bear's Village. Big shout out to United and Guided, Perinatal Equity Initiative, California Department of Public Health, and the very many community-based organizations that continue to support Black fatherhood in our communities. I'm joined here with two of our fathers who have participated in our work for a very long time, for years since we've started in 2017 and really got out there outreaching to the community in 2020 during the COVID time. There have been committed dads that have really come through and, you know, in supporting this Million Father March. All we were asking is for people to be able to connect with us and bring their child to the first day of school. Even if you can't make it, there's a possibility of participating in the selfie contest, right? All we need is a picture of you and your child on the first day of school. We're added to our collage for the Million Father March. So I do have some slides that I wanted to show you guys. And as I show it, it's just on how to register into the Million Father March. So if you can cue that video, that's the main website. This is a landing page for anybody who would like to go to the Million Father March website to where you can register and be a part of it. And what you'll be doing is registering for a pledge, really just a commitment to bring that child to the first day of school. And you can participate in several different ways. If you do, or if you're unavailable to meet with our groups, and we'll be parking at different schools around the county. If you can't make one of those personal visits, you can always take your kid to the first day of school, create a selfie, and participate in the selfie challenge. So if you hashtag MFM 2023 to that photo, and then it could go out to our Twitter, Facebook pages, and Instagram. And again, just moving forward with that selfie challenge, as you can see the dad and his child, and they're geared up for the first day of school. They got their matching t-shirts. They're doing it big. I remember my kid's first day of school, man, he was dressed down in denim. He had his tags on, and I just made a huge deal about him in his first day of school, how fly he was dressed, how cool he was going to be, and how much he was going to enjoy himself. So this is the same thing that we do with that selfie challenge. And of course, taking the Million Fathers March education pledge, right? Just making sure that you're doing some of these things. Maybe there's one point that stands out. Helping your kids with homework, setting up a positive, safe work environment for those kids to do the work. Keeping in contact with teachers. Right, so there's several parts of that pledge to where not only fathers but all parents should take heed and take a look at some of those things, because those are some of the things we end up doing anyway, especially when our kids may be falling off in grades, helping them improve. Sometimes we actually have to go in and speak to the administrators and teachers to stay on top of that stuff. So nothing out of the ordinary with that pledge. It's just for fathers to commit to that for the school year. So we're just happy to talk about that. So I've invited some of my guests, and I know that they've been patiently waiting here to speak. And so I have my good friend Reginald Chavis, and Reginald Chavis Sr.
Chavis Sr.
Chavis Sr. And then I have Demetrius Champlain, who are good friends of mine. They have been part of Papa Bear's Village and what we have been doing with Black fathers at the park for years. And, just to backtrack a little, we started this program, started this service rather, as a part of the Perinatal Equity Initiative, which was an initiative that is beyond 6 counties. There's 6 counties included, and those counties were geared to create situations that enhance Black fatherhood, knowing that there was disparity culturally and in the healthcare profession on how they treat Black fathers and how what type of role they play as we come together, with our dads. So from that work, we've been able to create some great things. Part of it is our Papa Bear's Village, where we invite all our dads from the neighborhood to be a part. These are some 2 of the most stand-up men that come out there consistently to the park. Mr. Chavis is a dedicated coach for our young folks in doing our basketball camp. Mr. Champlain comes out with his son, and they participate and have been really pivotal people in Papa Bear's Village, especially at a time when our attendance was just growing. He's one of the original members to be there. So I'm gonna start with you, Reg. What's been your experience working with the fathers that come out to Papa Bear's Village?
Oh, my experience has been very, very positive and very fulfilling, is the way that I would put it. I mean, there's a whole lot of us. We come out there. It's a family. It has more of a family vibe than anything else. Like, not just fathers coming out to just be with their children, it's also, we also kind of bond together, and it's all like, it's under that it takes a village mentality. And so we all get out there and we have like, we have serious discussions at the same time while we're out there, serving the kids, serving the community, and making sure that it gives a good picture for these kids to see, about how not just we're just role models, but how men get along with men in that environment. I feel like it has a very positive effect, though, and it's very satisfying for me every time I show up.
I love it, man. I love it. And I agree. I think one of the reasons why most of our brothers come out to the park like that is because they feel some type of bond, either to other brothers at the park or a bond with some of the children who are out there, really thirsty for role models. Not only do they have their parents out there, but now they have these people who were strangers last week who are actually contributing to their growth as they go along. So I really appreciate the work that you do when you're out there.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Champlain, I know that you are a man of who wears many hats. You're an entrepreneur, and you also maintain work to continue to sustain yourself, to sustain your family. What's been your experience, over the past couple years with United and Guided in Papa Bear's Village?
Very positive. I initially took my son there just to have an excuse for him and I to have something to do. During school weeks, I take him to school, I drop him off. It's like we're present, but we actually not spending time with each other. And so Sundays was something that I can look forward to, that him and I can actually relax and talk. And so not so much talking about school, but just getting to know each other without the hustle and bustle of, you got your schoolwork, did you do this, did you do your chores, make sure you go to school, and be that pep talk that I give them every single day. Sunday is more of a relaxed day. And so that was my initial experience. And then as we started attending more, like you said, it just became like a family orientated feeling, where it's not something just for me, but it became something for him, because now he's interacting with other men and he's seeing that my dad is not the only one who thinks this way. Like, he's getting on me behind these things and he's holding me accountable, but there's other black men in the community that has the same type of views. And this gentleman right here has been a great inspiration with my son, and encouraging him both academics and athletic, and really spending time with him. With you guys having the basketball and kickball. I think he broke his toe or something playing kickball. So it's just like, it's always something new. You feed in the community, having bands out there, live performance, all these great things that there's nothing else in Sacramento that's going on like that. That's consistent, that's professional, that's, well organized. And so I appreciate that, and I invited my nephew and other people, but for me, it's just been a wonderful experience to go somewhere where other well-minded and like men think alike. And like you said, he can also see how black men conversate and how we handle disputes and, different conversations that we have. And they can also see all the mistakes that we made as youth. And as they talk to him, it's like, here's a movie and I've been there, and I'm trying to not so much control you, but just give you an outlook of where you're going. And so I think for me, it helped me out with not just being the uncool dad that's always talking to me about the same thing. Now he see it from other strong black men. And it's just been a blessing, because you guys don't have to do that. You guys don't have to do that. And everything is free. It's like, that's right. You may get ribs today, you may get a Subway sandwich tomorrow. And so just in having that atmosphere and having this program, has really helped me. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And I thank you guys.
Good,
Well,
good.
we thank you for being part as
Yeah.
well. And you know, don't forget we have the vegan
Oh
options
my
too.
God.
Yes.
For those of us who are vegans, you know,
Yes.
we don't leave anybody out at Papa Bear's Village out there. So, you know, I want to turn it to the lovely Miss LaShanya because she's been out there as well, and you have a female perspective. When you look out there and see those brothers at the park, you know, what kind of feeling does it give you? Like, what do you feel that is happening out there as far as dynamic?
Unity, honestly, unity. I've been doing nonprofit work for over 23 years, and I've seen Black men groups come together, but they always seem to die down because I've been in an atmosphere where they're not like us, a culture like United and Guided, where we're engaging and I'm not talking down to you or telling you what's best for you or telling you what you should do. I don't see that out there. I do see unity. I do see community. I see respect. I love it when I can listen to the brothers. Bub, you're one of, I'm sorry, Demetrius, you're one of them that will drop jewels. I'm hearing you across the park. You'll drop a jewel, and I love that. Reg, I love the way you connect with the young people. You come out there with your knee brace on, but you're still out there hustling.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Still on that court. And the one thing I always highlight is you will look at those players, and you are able to tell what skill they need to be enhanced, and you'll work with them on that skill. And then my other brothers as well. I just love it. And when I have two men sons, 22 and 23, and we lost my husband about 7 years ago. And so I was worried about how do I teach these young men to be men. And I tell you, I can go to Mr. Lucas, Mr. Johnson, or anyone and get that. What do I say to my son? And this young man always say, you are the example. And they say, Mom, we just need you to listen. And then when they need to be fed into, or when they need some life, they'll come to the park. My oldest will come to the park and talk to Mr. Johnson or Mr. Lucas. So again, I have seen these groups form, but not sustained, fall apart. But that is not what I have experienced with United and Guided, and that is why I volunteered for a year before, because I believe in the vision and I'm part of the family now. So it's such an honor to be with my brothers and the unity at United and Guided.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, I have a 19-year-old son that comes out to the park regularly. He's you know, since being a day one, he came back, and he actually works on a consistent basis. He helps us with the editing for our videos here at Access Sacramento. But you know, I've seen him grow tremendously just from being around a variety of brothers. You know, my son is mixed, he's half Guatemalan, and he, you know, sometimes he needs to identify with both sides and both cultures that are within him. So when he comes out to the park and he's around his African-American brothers and really building with them and understanding, like Mr. Champlain said, you know, it's beyond, you know, just what daddy's thinking about. You know, there are other men that think similarly, and then he gets to see that. And then he gets to go back to his Latino culture and build upon those similarities and differences as well. So for him, it's multifaceted, multicultural, and I think he's getting a strong sense of his own identity just by being around the multiple generations of brothers that end up out here. And I know, as far as creating a culture, you know, I wanted to ask you guys, and I'll start with you, Reg. You know, what do you think it takes for a group of people to build a culture?
What do I think it takes for a group of people to build a culture? Man, I think passion. I think it kind of starts from a grassroots of passion, from a similar, you know, from a similar drive of where you want to go. Like, we all have a very deep grassroots passion for instilling, you know, tools into these youth that we have the pleasure of serving from week to week, actually from day to day, from every time that we see them. And you know, we want to be able to teach them how to succeed in places where we were unable to succeed because we didn't have that kind of support, you know, for those of us that did not have that kind of support before. So when you have people that everybody's saying, okay, well, you know what, I'm successful in my own right, but I know in these other different parts of life where I have not been successful at, you know, maybe we can teach this next level, this next generation that's coming behind us, how to succeed in these places where we fail, and therefore, you know, like I always tell mine, like I want you to be better than me, you know. So I think that starting with that passion and cooperation and love, man. Like, I mean, you know, like everybody who I know that comes up to Papa Berry Village, like we love being there. We love doing what we do, and it's not a burden. It's not nothing. It's just to say, like, you know, I want to do this for you, and hopefully, you know, you'll take this and you'll pass it along as you go along, and it'll give you some great memories to have when you grow up and be able to pass down to somebody in the next generation after you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Mr. Champlain, what's your take on that? What does it take to build a culture for a group of strangers at one point to come and build a culture with each other?
You know, I really don't know. But what I can speak on is what I'm seeing from the group on Sundays. And one is love. There's no egos. There's no pride. Everybody really wants to be there, really don't mind helping. And you guys share everything from resources to food to everything. And I think going in that direction where, you know, there's no egos, there's no pride, there's no, you know, I'm the main person or this is my group. You guys open up like this is our group. You know, if somebody come, they wouldn't know who ran it. They wouldn't know.
They know it runs though.
Yeah, and so I just believe that in the direction that this group is going, I think that's how you build a culture. And just having the willingness to start here, and you guys were patient in your building, and now that it is built on concrete, now you guys are moving around to different locations, different neighborhoods, and inviting other people to see this blueprint. And I think that's how you would do it.
Share it.
Right on, man.
Another thing to share.
Thank you for that.
Yes, absolutely.
That is great. So, Ms. LaShanya, I'm going to ask that to you. Like, what, you know, I know you mentioned some of the things you've seen in these brothers here, but they just brought up some really great points, right? You do need passion, right? You do need to be able to bring that passion and bring people together and do it by sharing and being cooperative with the people around you, right? To make it feel like everybody has a part. What would you say that, you know, would you agree with these brothers, or would you have something to add to that?
150%. I agree with both of the King's answers on what does it take. I do agree. Again, I'll pivot right back to it. I've seen these groups, been part of them, and they don't last, because you do have the individual with the ego, or I'm the man, or I'm the one, I know what's best, you know, in the room. And brothers don't take to that lightly. You're not going around telling them what they should and cannot be doing. What could you offer me? What resources do you have? What support could you offer me? I'm drowning here. Do you have an answer? Have you been through that experience so you can support me and get me through this moment? That is exactly what sustains UAG. That is what it takes to have a striving. And I don't like program, I say services. We at United and Guided, we believe in sending out services and giving services to our families according to their needs and meeting them where they're at. That's another pivotal thing, meeting them where they're at. And our lived experience, all of us has been in through some type of trauma. And I remember to look at that camera. So all of us have been through some type of trauma, and we don't judge. That's another thing. So that's another thing. No judgment at United and Guided. So, yes.
Yes, yes. So I know my production manager is telling me I got a couple more minutes. I did want to show one video, and that's of Mr. Champlain. It's you know, what we've been doing with our work is we have monthly listening sessions where fathers come in, they give their opinion, they talk about random topics that pertain to Black fatherhood, but we have been taking some of those jewels that these men have dropped, and we created these videos called Papa Bear's Tips. You can find them on your YouTube channel. Our channel is UAG TV 135. You can find us at UAG TV on YouTube, and you'll see a number of videos that we call Papa Bear's Tips. And we have one that I wanted to show you right before we cut to segment, and that's of Mr. Champlain. We're going to talk about that here in a minute.
As brothers, if we can sit down and really articulate and understand our parenting style and how we was raised, then we can, you know, help the kids out a lot more. Sometimes you got to reach kids where they at. And yeah, we can focus on, you know, youngsters 8 years old to 14 years old before they start having sex and smoking weed, and a little bit more, they listen a little bit more. But, you know, for those that's out there, you know, wilding out, there's a reason why they wilding out, because of what's going on in the household. You know what I mean? And so I think if we can understand ourselves and understand where we come from, then we'll be able to understand where these youngsters is coming from, and then we can help them out, you know, a lot more.
Yeah, so that was our great video by Mr. Demetrius Champlain, who was one of the many fathers who was able to create a Papa Bear's Tips. We have up to 30 right now, and 3 Mama Bear's Tips. So we're really churning those out because there's so much rich knowledge and information that our family shares. And we feel like it should be out there for every youngster to be able to talk about and listen to and gain experience from. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that video as we come on into our next segment. But thank you for continuing to tune in to the Black Fathers Inc. podcast. I want to make sure that I shout out Papa Bear's Village, the Oak Park, the entire Oak Park community, which has a lot of these rich brothers coming to the park with us. Tahoe Park, the Perinatal Equity Initiative, Black Fathers Inc., and California Department of Public Health. And we will see you very shortly. Okay, welcome back to Black Fathers Inc. podcast. I'm Imani Lucas. I'm here with my co-host, Miss LaShanya Brazel. I have my special guest here. We just got done wrapping up with my brother Demetrius Champlain, who's been a father, who's been coming to our Papa Bear's Village and has been an influential part of the work that we've done over the past 3 years. We just saw a video of his voice with some imagery that talked a little bit about parenting styles and the different styles there are. You know, so, you know, Mr. Champlain, I'm going to ask you one last question, and you know, it's about parenting styles and sort of building upon, you know, what you said earlier, maybe what you meant about it, and, you know, what's your perspective a year later, you know, now that you think about fatherhood?
I still have the same thought that it's hard for us to understand our children if we don't understand ourselves. And so once you understand yourself, then it makes it a little bit less complicated when it comes to parenting. But to understand yourself, you have to understand where you come from.
That's right.
And you have to understand the parenting style that you was raised. So you go back and you think, how did my mom, you know, how was her parenting style? How was my father parenting style if he was there? And if he wasn't there, that piece that was missing will also constitute to how you're parenting. And so that's pretty much what I was getting at is that to understand your children, you have to understand yourself. And to understand yourself, you have to understand where you come from. You know, the things that maybe your mom cooked for you. Maybe the way she complimented you or punished you or dealt with certain issues is to how you are dealing with your child. And so to have that understanding, I think makes it less complicated with parenting your children.
Yes. Yeah, and I agree. And, you know, I think too that, you know, the more, if you have both parents in your life, there's a much more likelihood that you're going to understand two parenting styles. But, you know, once that child sees that both of those parenting styles could work together to create and raise someone to be a successful individual, you know, that would be the ideal situation. Unfortunately, many of us don't grow up like that. We have a single parent household, a lot of them without a black father, and not realizing how much of a crucial role that black fatherhood plays in the lives of young folks. You know, with United and Guided, you know, being that, and many of us have grown up in a single parent household, but we really try to reinforce that every child deserves to have two parents. So even if the parents are not in a particular relationship, it's still very important to be able to create that type of co-parenting plan. So, you know, and as far as, you know, the stereotypes around black fathers not being in their children's lives or, you know, not being necessary for the growth of a child, just hasn't really been paying attention to the history and statistics. You know, at its core, you know, fatherhood transcends cultural boundaries, and black fathers play a crucial role in shaping the future of our children. You know, research has consistently shown that involved fatherhood, fathers can contribute significantly to children's emotional, cognitive, and social development. While black fathers are actively engaged in their children's lives, it brings forth a host of different benefits. Firstly, the presence of a positive male role model provides children, especially young boys, with a strong sense of identity and self-esteem. Black fathers and their children help their children navigate through the complexities of racial identity, serving as a source of guidance and empowerment. Through their experiences and stories, fathers instill resilience, self-assurance, and pride in their heritage. Secondly, the involvement of black fathers nurtures healthier relationships and better communication skills. Children who have an open and supportive relationship with their fathers tend to perform better academically, exhibit improved problem-solving abilities, and develop emotional intelligence, very important to have. And moreover, black fathers contribute to a balanced parenting approach. Their distinct perspective and approaches to parenting complement those of mothers, leading to a more well-rounded, nurturing environment. The synergy helps children learn diverse ways of handling challenges and understanding the world around them. Additionally, the positive impact of black fathers extends to reducing societal disparities. When actively involved, they play a critical role in breaking cycles of poverty, crime, and educational underachievement. Their guidance and presence often leads to higher educational attainment, lower likelihood of delinquency, and increased chances of economic success for their children. So in conclusion, black fatherhood holds undeniable importance for child development. Their active presence instills a sense of identity, boosts self-esteem, and fosters healthy relationships. The contributions of black fathers go beyond individual families, positively impacting entire communities and working towards a more equitable society overall. So I just want to thank you, Brother Champlain, for being here and being that positive dad and sticking and becoming a positive role model in his life. I feel like your example is is an example that all other dads can take when they're there. Because when they see you interacting with your son, it gives other people hope and confidence and initiative to bring some of those maybe complex topics to their own children. So, just know that the things that we do out there, people are watching, and they do want to get better themselves. And you could possibly be that example when you're out there exhibiting that. Wouldn't you agree, Ms. LaShawn?
I agree 150%. Yes.
Right on. So we're going to move into something that we're very proud of in working with our dads. We have been trying to encourage some of them to come and be a part of what we call the doula dads, so they can be a part of our co-ed doula team here. And working with Ms. LaShanya and Mr. Johnson, helping people through childbirth and going through some of the challenges and complications that come to it. So what we're realizing over time, we've done a little research, and we come across a newscast that talks about a Minneapolis nonprofit that actually is training doula dads to help deliver children and help work with hospital staff and parents to deliver successful babies. And Ms. LaShanya is going to tell us a little bit about that story.
Okay. So we've talked about Black fatherhood. We talked about the Black Fathers Inc. and that involvement. But we all know that getting into the segue is from the womb when the baby is conceived. So fathers can get involved just becoming doula dads, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. What is a doula dad? What does that mean? What does that look like as a father, especially a first-time father? So I'm going to just give you some fun facts about a doula dad. A doula dad is a unique initiative. A Minnesota nonprofit organization is making waves with its innovative program called Doula Dads. This program aims to empower and educate men to provide vital support during pregnancy, challenging gender roles, and fostering deeper connection between fathers and expected mothers. The Doula Dads program, launched by the nonprofit, recognizes the importance of involving fathers in the pregnancy journey. It offers workshop, classes, and resources that equip men with the knowledge and skills needed to be active, supportive partners during this transformative period. The goal is to break down the barriers that often prevent men and participating in pregnancy and childbirth, want to create a safe space that feel confident, capable of providing emotional, physical, informational support to their parents. And I'm going to stop right there and talk a little bit about doula dads. Our guest is Mr. Jacquees Johnson, and he is one of the families that we are supporting right now during his pregnancy. So Mr. Jacquees, tell us about your experience in this co-doula, because it's myself and my brother Richard that are working with you and your beautiful family during this time. Tell us a little bit about your experience, and also what is a doula dad to you, because you had a great perspective when we talked to you before.
I'm going to start off with the experience. The experience is for being even accepted to be a doula dad is it was when someone said they're going to help you, and in such a meaningful way that you guys presented it to me. Like I thought it was a game at first. I'm like, nah, they gonna come help. We heard this before. This is another government scam to say they're doing something for people. And I was blown away by you and Rich. I didn't even meet Amani at first. It was just you and Rich on the call. Mr. Johnson, what you guys call him. The support that I felt immediately, like the eye contact, the energy from you guys. Y'all's training is on point. You guys really engaged with us. You didn't just string me along and regurgitate a lot of information. There was actual pointers how to handle the situation. Y'all let us talk.
Yeah.
Y'all was present.
Absolutely.
You know, you wasn't in a rush to get us off the phone call. And this is the first experience. The immediate, I felt it like, they're serious. This isn't just talk. This is real. So when I felt y'all energy, I matched it. I said, I have to be vulnerable here. They're not playing around. I have to be vulnerable. So for you guys to get me to open up was just on point. So my experience is always, you guys get me in a vulnerable position because you guys understand the task at hand, and you guys allow us to talk and be ourselves and actually deal with the problems or expectations of the birth.
And because of that experience, tell everyone what you are, what's your new role transitioning into? What are you going to doula, Mr. Doula Dad?
I'm definitely transitioning to be a member of the doula family, and I can't wait till I get the training so I can properly assess situations and give out the information you guys give in my own way once you guys give me the tools I need. But as far as, you know, some of the things I can say about the doula program is the things I had no idea about. Planning. So big. Planning. I didn't even understand how big planning, not just saying I got a car seat, we got the baby crib and all that, that's secondary to the real planning. And that's what to expect while you're there, how to talk to the doctors, how to have an understanding on the conversation that they're about to have with you. So they're not talking over my head. You guys are already preparing us for every situation. And then not only that, you're a phone call away. And you guys are coming to the appointments if we need you. So like having that type of support, and the most important thing that I dealt with dealing with being a doula or becoming, or just in general, how to deal with the woman. You know what I'm saying? Even I think the health is connected. The baby's health is connected to the woman's health. And if I don't know how to deal with her in 9 months, it's going to be a problem. Miscarriages are at an all-time high. You guys explained to me that even black childbirth, they're dying higher than normal. So, you know, now that I understand that, it's like, wow, I got to be here for this woman. I got to really.
Yes, love it.
Yes. And thank you for that contribution. Our production folks are telling us we're out of time today. So I want to give you guys just 30 seconds to give you shout outs. Got anybody that you want to say hi to? We'll start with you.
Just shout out to UAG, man. UAG, United and Guided, you know. United we stand, united we fall, you know. Y'all really mean what y'all say, you know. My only shout out is just y'all keep shooting out, because y'all shout out to me and I'm here.
Right on. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Brother Champlain, thank you for being here, man. What's your shout outs before we go?
It's to you guys. Supporting fathers and allowing us to exercise, you know, those 3 P's as far as just fathers being providers, protectors, and being present.
Yes, sir.
And so exercising that and acknowledging us in everything that you guys do. So shout out to you guys.
Yes, thank you, Brother Champlain. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And thank you all for watching Black Fathers Inc. Podcast. My name is Imani Lucas. I'm here with
LaShanya Brazil.
And we are out for this time. See you next time.